Hey guys, this is the updated Red Roshi Dragon Ball Victory deck. I took the deck profile I had originally and updated it with a couple new cards, and it has made a world difference. I'm going to throw this out there right now. I think that this deck is tier 1. I think this deck has the potential, it has the ability to win a regional. If there was a regional tomorrow, I think I would take this to the regional, and I feel very confident because it has a lot of utility, control, and it takes your opponent off guard. Like I said before, the changes that I made to my original build, which are shown now, have made a complete, world of difference. The deck runs way smoother now, and it wins consistently. So, as you can see, Red and Rage Roshi, 1 through 4, the sexy cards up there. Dragon Ball Victory, so you gotta run all 7. Dragon Radar and Info Gathering are pretty much a staple package you gotta run if you're running Dragon Balls, even though I do not like Info Gathering. Still gotta run it, I guess. 3 spheres, because it's me, and I always run 3 spheres in every deck. And because this is a control stasis deck of sorts, I don't enter combat at all. Unless I absolutely have to. I just keep passing and laying out my board, setting up for eventual Dragon Victory or possible MPPV. And so 3 spheres are crucial if you're going to run a control deck, and Conversation is run for that same reason. Kami is also part of the Dragon Ball package. It rejuves like crazy, or helps me, keep my light deck big. With that, I used to run the Red Energy Blast combo with Kami, which would banish my own Kami. But then I realized Red Energy Blast is like kind of like a trashy card. I never liked the card. And then I realized I can take out those 3 cards and replace them with these 3 replacements that are better overall. Red Examination Drill replaces the drill banishing effect from Red Energy Blast, and it's just a far, far better card. It works, every combat, and I do so many criticals in the deck that I will clear their board of drills in no time. Tug of War, I'm an idiot for not running it in my original build. It shuffles in, so it triggers Roshi level 1 and 2. I can target my own Kami. I can target their Nappa, which is the main target. It has endurance and just an overall amazing card that I think more people should run in their decks. And again, I don't have any real major allied decks in my meta, but still, just an amazing card in the deck overall. Back to drills. My drill package is, of course, Red Examination Drill, which I wasn't running originally. I'm an idiot for that because this card is incredible. More people need to run this card. The put and play effect is just really good on its own, but the main effect is absolutely insane and wins me games, just like Red Forward Stance Drill, which wins me games all the time. Helps me, turtle the whole game. Basically, having one of those out and just keep being able to block my opponent's critical cards like Optic Blast, Black Capture, whatever. And of course, with that, if you're running 2 or more drills, you got to run Red Retreat because it can tutor the drills and you can end combat if you want to. And so I would definitely recommend running Red Retreat if you're going to run drills in red. Non-combat package, 3 Red Bribe. I was an idiot for not running this originally. The main reason I run 3 is because, besides the fact that it's broken, I need to be able to copy 2 ball. That's the main Dragon Ball I copy with this deck. But copying 4 ball is really good, 7 ball is really good. But 2 ball in a meta filled with Cell is everywhere. So getting out the 2 ball, and Cell doesn't really, unless, the context of the game, but people aren't going to capture 2 ball from you if they're playing Cell, because if it gets captured back, they get screwed. But red bribing them, if they try to combo, go down to level 3 with level 4, and then you bribe them back to level 2, it screws them over. So that's why you got to run 3 of these. It's just an amazing card. Red Blaze, amazing card, does a critical 2 anger and rejuves. And rejuvenation is actually critical. People underestimate it, but it has won me numerous games. I've ended games where I have 30 plus life cards on my deck, and a Mechian deck has had 10 or less, and they deck out. Slumber, gotta run, staple. Red Destiny helps nuke their combats if they enter on me and I have no defense and they think they're gonna do a lot of damage to me. I can just Destiny and get out of that combat basically unscathed. It raises anger and it's an amazing card. Visiting the Past, you already know. Staple, broken. Heroic Plan, again, I was an idiot for not running this originally in my first build. It tutors pretty much anything I need, including Kami, or any setup or drill I need at the moment. It triggers Roshi level 1 and 2 because it shuffles, and it's just an amazing card in this deck, and I was foolish to not run it originally. Through relaxation, this card is broken. I don't need to explain anymore. If you're running red, you gotta run 3. Attack package, very few attacks. I don't do much damage in this deck. Like I said, I hardly enter combat ever. I mostly run attacks for utility purposes. So red mule kick is for wall breaker and for black capture. If I'm playing against Saiyan, it gets rid of their Tree of Mights. It gets rid of any of their attached cards. Even if they don't really affect me, it's just something to do. Why not? It raises anger, and it's really good. Red knee lift, you got to run this for running this deck. I love this card. The card is amazing. It does no damage, but who cares? You can critical up to 2 times with this. Capture back 2 balls at once. It's an amazing card. Gain the anger off the critical, and it has done so much. And I've won so many games with this. It's insane. Optic Blast, I only run 1 because I ran 3. I realized after a while I don't need 3 because Namekian Knowledge is hardly in the meta anymore. I mean, I know it's present, but it's not as prominent as it used to be. So a lot of restore decks have taken the place of the knowledge decks, and therefore Optic Blast isn't really necessary. I do so many criticals in this deck as is. I don't really need it, but I run a 1-of just in case Namekian Knowledge matchups. But even then, this deck doesn't have to win by Dragon Ball victory. It can win by deck out, which is, I mean, I don't know. You gotta take my word for it. Trust me. I have won by deck out numerous times against Namekian decks and other decks, even without attacking them. I just stall out the game, rejuve, and just go to Roshi level 3 and just mill them to death. But 1 Optic Blast is good enough, and I'm comfortable with that as is. And of course, 3 red freezing beams to get my drills out. This card looks janky, but trust me, it's really good. You can do some insane combos with freezing beam and forward stance drill. You can energy, raise the anger first because that's the way that it's worded. You advance a level, this card gets discarded, and then you use the secondary effect of this card to put the drill back into play. Crazy. And for my defense package, 3 red stop, very sexy, omni block, you gotta run it. Why not? Gets the drills back out, and it's just a good block overall. 3 red energy defensive stance. I don't like this card, but red doesn't really have any good energy blocks per se with endurance. I want as much endurance as I can have in this deck. And this card has endurance, and it has a good anger gain. Red Duck. I know, again, this deck runs some cards that people don't think are good. Trust me, I didn't think these cards were good either. But Red Duck is an amazing card in this meta, and highly underrated. I run it because of the endurance, but then I realized the Rejuve effect actually helps a lot against the Cell meta. Rejuving, keeping your discard pile really low, prevents them from using Cell level 3 to bounce up and down. And plus, Rejuve is always good. It triggers Roshi level 3, just like Red Blaze does. And I like it more than Red Blocking Hand. And, of course, Time. So, this is the deck, the updated version. Like I said, I strongly believe this is Tier 1, that this could win a regional. This could, make a huge impact on the meta. Certain matchups, the main question I get is, how do you beat Cell Restored with the Overwhelming Power combo where they infinitely loop it? You have to play differently. You can't play your Dragon Balls until it's absolutely critical, and even then, you got to make sure that you get rid of their overwhelming powers first in some way by just stalling the game out. I can talk about it more if you have any more questions, but against that matchup, I play only 6-ball, 2-ball, and perhaps 1-ball, and I leave the rest of the balls in the deck until I know it's time to play them. Otherwise, this deck has a really good matchup against pretty much everything. It doesn't lose to orange. Sorry, orange players. I'm an orange player too, but this deck does not lose to orange. It has a really good matchup against blue. Anything. It's not that bad against black. All I can say is that I love this deck, and I'm proud that I finally made a fringe deck work. And I noticed a lot of people had a lot of faith in my original build of this, but this is 100,000 times better. So let me know what you think. And JJ, James Stadmiller, I am sorry for posting this, but I just want the whole world to know how good this deck is. And it's not really regional season yet, so I can show off my deck like this. But thanks, everybody, and let me know what you think of this.